Hey, stop the cap, stop the cap. What's up, guys? Stop Capping's here, and I'm in here today going over the character breakdown of Ramattra for Overwatch 2. So, we're over here today. It's day 2. I wanted to do a video yesterday, but I was just busy with playing other games. At least I was able to play a little bit of Season 2 and got to enjoy it. But these are for my day 2 mains. Wink, wink. Or the day ones. The day 1 now day 2. Because we all know all your mains out there are gonna try really hard to get them dubs, right? But at the end of the day, nobody's still moving the payload. Anyway, with Ramattra, he has his Nemesis form and then his Omnic form. In his Omnic form, he has R2, that fires a stream of straight projectiles in a fixed pattern. The good thing about this is you could be far away from your opponents from the screen, and it is a long distance. You could do the long distance game, especially if you want to use long distance for your shield, your barricade. So create a barricade at a targeted location with L2, and then we also got abilities, Ravenous Vortex. Fire a nanoball that explodes on the ground, spreads damage, affected enemies are slowed down and pulled downward. So, if you have someone like, Mercy, especially Echo trying to fly around, or, Diva, Pharah, they're going to get pulled down and sucked into this vortex, and you can DPS the crap out of them, right? And then we got Nemesis form, which only lasts about 8 seconds. Nemesis form turns you to this big Hulk tank. And you can do either one or two things. You can pummel your opponents with R2 or use L2 to shield yourself, like similar to Doomfist of shielding, to reduce incoming attacks, but it sacrifices a lot of movement speed. And then, last but not least, we got Annihilation, which creates a void. There's a void vortex or void energy that surrounds Ramattra. It drains. It's kind of like the Moira's life force drain. So think of it like as a life force drain while he's in his Nemesis form, and he can still punch the crap out of you. He punches through shields. And also, he could also use the Annihilation form as a last-minute shielding attempt, from a Diva's Mecha Bomb or anything that could deal any type of, sabotaging damage to your fire team. He'll be the martyr of your team. He'll be the savior or the martyr of your team if he's used correctly. I can tell you for a fact that if he's on a team with Zarya, Mercy, who else is a good person that would benefit? Kiriko, Zarya, Mercy, Kiriko. Those already are 3 women that could help buff him by shielding him, healing him, and also making sure he's immune to certain damage when Kiriko throws that charm at him. If she throws the charm at him at the right time when he's in Nemesis form, he could definitely avoid significant damage. It's gonna be an interesting combination, and also another interesting combination if you want to throw in the 5th person into the mix, especially if you have Moira. So if you have those 4 women supporting a good Ramattra player, it's going to be a very scary combination because you also got Moira's healing orbs and life drain orbs, Mercy's resurrection, Kiriko's charm that could nullify or cure your poisonous effects, from Anna's poison effect that you can't heal yourself, or the same thing with Junker Queen's special, the bleed, that bleed damage, and you can't heal yourself. So, and Zarya's shielding, that speaks for herself. And plus, she's a tank; she can assist him in his attacks. The good thing about Ramattra is he's more of a team attack person, and since he's a tank, um, I feel like he's focused just like Winston, that he's really meant to attack the lower health, lower tier healing characters. You know, so he's meant to like take out people like the Tracers, the Sombras, the Widowmakers. You know, Lucio's, anyone with a low life bar. He's basically like the cleanup person. When it comes down to people who have a significant amount of health or their tanks, he's mostly a person that's meant to DPS with another character. I suggest not to really go in super solo because you will get team shot to shit unless you know what you're doing. But you know, it's only day 2. So, you know, let's get to it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to show is the nano ball, his R1 ability. So even though it pulls down your opponents and all that stuff, and also slows them down, it's really good to use this attack, especially when you have Tracers running around, Sombras trying to run away. Especially, you know, your Sombra and Tracer characters, you guys love to run away when we start attacking you. You guys never want to finish up the fight. But this thing right here, with this little bit of significant damage, sometimes these characters, or Widowmakers too, sometimes these guys get DPS enough where they just have a little bit of health left, and if he somehow throws his nano ball, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of damage, of that damage, to annihilate your opponent. Or if you're DPSing a tank, you'll be able to give a little bit significant amount of damage right before they get taken out, you know, or eliminated before they try to do like some type of desperate attack. Sometimes you'll have Reinhardt try to do his ultimate when he has like little to no health left as a clutch move, and you can just do this and then DPS him when he has like little to no health left. So it's a good combination. And then honestly, if you have someone with like low health and they're trying to come and do like the nerf this thing, like Diva, you know, you just come close to your ally, use your barrier and block the incoming damage, go to Nemesis mode, and then do your thing like that. Or shield shield yourself from any incoming damage. Now, I did tell you that this thing has his R2 attack has distance, so it does have distance. And you can see, since it's very consecutive, if you're consistent with it, the damage fall off is really good. So he's not one of, so every time you attack with Ramattra, he doesn't do, you know, his point of attack is very linear, it's very direct. So you can't do like spread damage or anything like that. But what you could also do is, if you have enemies coming at you, right? So let's say you're trying to use a retreat method, you know, you could do like this guy right here. You could throw the nano, slow them down, and throw up a barrier to shield yourself from you know, like basically incoming like an incoming push. So if it's just one person or two people and yet you're with someone else, you could just throw this ball, slow them down, and DPS the crap out of them. But you know, if you have multiple people, like 3 to 4 people coming in, which a lot of people try to usually do now. A lot of people actually try to do teamwork in terms of fighting for control points. You can throw this and do that real quick, shield yourself for damage, regroup with your guys, and then come around the corner and go to Nemesis mode if you have to, and then take out your opponents. Or basically come in with your cover fire. So again, you could do something like this, throw your shield up. Oh, I messed up the shield there. But then you can do this, and then shield yourself and give you guys more cover, and then they'll use their ultimate, or they'll DPS your opponents with more moves. So this is another good example here too. Throw that down.
You are safe with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if he could jump up and throw his. I'm pretty sure he could jump up and throw his nano ball, like do that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I suggest if you're gonna jump up and throw his nano ball, you need to be at least mid-range, or you'll see if you could throw it. Yeah, you could throw it high also. You can lob the nanites. Yeah, but if you're in mid-range, I suggest you either lob it. Well, if you're in mid-range, don't lob it because you could get DPS. But like if you're like in this type of situation, just do like that and do this and then do that. So it's a pretty cool move. Now, his ultimate, you got to go into Nemesis form so you can shield yourself, or you can see the void energy right there. Yeah, this thing lasts a while. So I guess the more consistent you are with your kills, the longer. I didn't know that. So the more consistent you are with your kills, it's gonna take a longer time. You get a little bit of leeway in terms of you get extended time for the more people that you kill on the fire team. Otherwise, the timer will run out if you're not doing anything. So that's good. That's good to know. As long as you're damaging your opponents or killing your opponent, you're able to get somewhat extended time. The moment that you're outside a opponent's circle, you won't be able to do anything. Your ultimate will run out. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of using the right synergy. I mean, I already told you guys the basically the 4 horsewomen that could run with Ramattra, Mercy, Kariko, Moira, and Saria. That's going to be a deadly combination. If you have a good Ramattra player, I'm not saying it's going to work for every Ramattra player, but if you have a good sense of what you're doing, then you'll be fine. And this is pretty good too. So you can also use a shield. So let's say like someone like, we all know how we have those annoying tracers or widowmakers. So you could do a thing where if you're basically trading with each other, you could put up your shield and then throw your nanites. Or you could throw your nanites and then put up your shield, and then you could kill your opponent. Especially if they're cornered. So you could be like this. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for today in terms of Ramattra's breakdown. He's a really interesting character. He's definitely a team player character. I only suggest you doing something crazy, going into Nemesis mode, or using his ultimate when you are somehow flanking your opponent unexpectedly. He could be just as deadly as Rohag, Reinhardt, and Diva if you know how to use him right in terms of flanking your opponent. Besides that, he's really a huge support tank with his shields, with his nano boost. He's a beast. And then of course, being a sacrificial lamb with his shielding and basically regrouping with your teammates or going on the offense. All right, guys, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep on gaming. Peace.